Hi, my name's Dorian Trail, and today we're going to have a bit of a chat about the supply and demand impacts not only on sale prices for residential property but also the impact of vacancy rates on rental return and rental occupancy rates. Everybody pretty much knows that the market is driven by supply and demand. If you've got more sellers than buyers, the prices go down. If you've got more buyers than sellers, the prices generally go up. It's people competing for the real estate. The same thing applies in rental properties. The more properties for rent on the market and the less people that want to rent them, the lower the prices tend to be and the longer the vacancy rates. Whereas if you've only got a few properties for rent and lots of renters, you get a much higher rental yield and you get a lot lower vacancy rates, and you get stickier tenants because if they know that there's not a lot of stock on the market, then they're less likely to move to try and find something else. And it's a fairly easy thing to work out, but so few people do it. It's mind-boggling. I did some figures recently in a presentation I did for a group of financial planners where we had a look at one of the upcoming suburbs that everybody's raving about, all the spruikers are raving about, and I ran some numbers on it, and it really only took me 30 seconds to load a web page and to plug in some numbers. And the stats came out that in last month there were 300 and something properties advertised in that one suburb for rent with a vacancy rate that was up around 4 or 5%. Now if you extrapolate those figures out, you can also work out that once you know how many residential dwellings there are in the suburb, you can work out what percentage there are of rental properties out of the whole pool of houses. And the numbers on this thing were just absolutely awful. The vacancy rate was very high, the number of properties for rent was very high, and it turned out that somewhere in the order of 2/3 of all properties in that suburb were rental properties, which, I don't know about you, but to me that signals alarm bells in my mind that at some point in time it may end up being a bit of a ghetto. And this suburb is being touted by spruikers everywhere as the next best thing, and every number that I can find suggests it's going to be an absolute disaster. You know, you just think that people would have bought in there if they'd realised that there was going to be 300 other houses for rent at the same time. And it's such a simple thing to look up and to understand how to work out these ratios. So I'm going to go into great depth on that in the video, so click the link below. Grab yourself a cup of tea and a notepad and pen, because there's a whole bunch of other really interesting stuff in there. And I'll see you in the video, and let's make you the smartest investor in the room. Bye for now.